In an interview with Liz Browning Fox in March 2013, Calvin Dallas Burrus Jr. remembered the family moving from Hatteras to Buxton after a hurricane, and his dad's building boats there by hand.
In 1936, we had a lot of hurricanes, 35, 36, down to Hatteras. And the dad said, I want to move to higher ground because it come in the house, I think, about 14 inches. So in 1939, we moved to Buxton. When we moved to Buxton, there weren't any electricity in Buxton. Hatteras had lights, and ice plant, electricity. But Buxton, we had to have generators. And my dad was in the Coast Guard, so he used these kerosene, I think we used, using gas. We run them on kerosene, these generators. And he had a bank of batteries that he put up for 32 volt, and we used 32 volt bulbs, 32 volt drills, because he built boats up here, and they didn't have any lights until the REA built this new plant and started furnishing everybody with electricity.
About when was that? Before you all moved to Elizabeth City?
Yes, I think it was. I'm not sure. I don't know what year it was.
Mm-hmm. I can't imagine trying to build a boat with generator power.
Well, that was all he had. I remember 32 volt drills. The rest of the stuff was he cut out by hand. He made his own sawmill. He had an old motor. He sat there and he used a 55-gallon drum for a radiator, so it had plenty of water to keep cool. And then he had this big saw that he sawed his big stuff with. Otherwise, he done most of the carving with, if I remember right, they call them the adze, some kind of a tool,
right?
That they use for shaving and stuff. And hand saw a lot, mostly hand saw stuff. In fact, he used hand saw most of the time because I didn't see any electric saws he had. The big saw that he had for sawing heavy stuff was run by an old Model A motor. But those days are gone. Everything's modern nowadays. I guess it's still changing. It'll change a lot when I'm gone.
Faster, not necessarily better.
Yes. Yep.
Well, the Jackie Fay was a beautiful boat, and just about everybody remembers her who's been down here.
Yeah. He built one up here of SW. No, I think it was he built it for Mr. Charlie Gray. She stayed up here a long time. I started by her one time, but the guy at Avon bought her. And at that time, they had this hospital for fishermen and whatever in Norfolk. I'm trying to think of what they called it. But he just pulled her up on the shore and left her. But she was registered with the Coast Guard, and that way he could go to this hospital whenever he wanted to. We used her for that purpose, and she stayed right there. I think one day somebody bought her and took her over across the Sound and fixed her up and used her, from what I understand. You see some boats over there that look like the same type my dad built.
Mm-hmm.
And then Earl Foster had some built on the same lines.
Those were built down
with the
Sound.
rhyme stern.
And those, I think, were built in Marshallburg, weren't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.